After a night-long search, the search and rescue team comprising of the Kenya Defence Forces and the Kenya Wildlife Service have found the burnt wreckage of 2 helicopters in the thick of Mount Kenya forest. The fate of the crew is still unknown, with 14 soldiers still missing. One of the helicopters is said to have burst into flames on impact.
As of yesterday evening, the other 2 missing had not been located, but early this morning, the crash sites of the remaining 2 were located. One of them burnt completely, and the other one hanging somewhere on a cliff.
However, rescuers are currently on the ground and seemingly optimistic that there are survivors.
I received communication from the site that the first site has been, the rangers and the team that are there have reached, and they have found the aircraft position, and there's no dead body seen, but items are arranged in a manner that suggests that they have evacuated from that location and are somewhere in the mountain.
On Sunday afternoon, 4 military helicopters left Uganda for Somalia. There is confusion regarding the flight path of the military planes. According to Kenya's Department of Defense, the helicopters which were flagged off in Entebbe were to make stops in Kenya, that is in Laikipia Air Base, Garissa Military Base and Wajir Military Base, before proceeding to Mogadishu. Ugandan military sources said the helicopters were supposed to fly from Soroti in eastern Uganda, land in Eldoret before taking off to Nanyuki Air Base. They then left for Wajir at 4 a.m. for refueling, and this is when they disappeared.
The Kenya government was aware that the Ugandan 4 helicopters were transiting through Kenya on their way to Somalia, specifically to go and participate in AMISOM, where Uganda is deployed in their sector in Somalia. And the normal formalities were put in place. The clearances were granted to transition the Kenyan airspace.
While flying in formation, 3 of the helicopters went down in Mount Kenya forest on Sunday evening. On Monday, the first helicopter was spotted. All 7 crew members were rescued, with only 1 sustaining injuries to his spine. The officer was later airlifted to Nairobi for treatment. The Ugandan government deployed the combat helicopters Mi-24 and Mi-17 to reinforce its contingent in Somalia as the African Union mission in Somalia troops prepare for the final onslaught against Al-Shabaab at the port of Kismayu. Ugandan Air Force Commander Lieutenant General Jim Owoyisigire, when flagging off the choppers, said they were to provide air support to both Uganda and Burundi convoys and operations outside Mogadishu, conduct reconnaissance of AMISOM's main supply routes, provide combat medical evacuation, perform air search and rescue, as well as engage in Al-Shabaab combat operations. Catherine Omwando, KTN.